welcome to Fighting Over the Remote, a podcast about finding movies to love together. I'm Elissa.
And I'm Robert. Every week one of us chooses what we're watching, and then we give our initial thoughts, awards, and ratings.
This week, I had the remote.
And I was forced to watch Ocean's 8.
Yes, you were. And Robert, we're trying a new little segment here for the summary because sometimes
we ramble.
We get a little lost in thought. And we're just trying really hard to make the summary thorough for our listeners. But we're just hoping that most of you have maybe seen the movie so that we're not having to go into deep detail. So instead of just letting our brains just roam free back through the plot, we are going to set a timer for 60 seconds. And whoever saw the movie that the other person chose this week has to give the summary, and they have to do it quickly.
Yeah, this is more of a recap so that you remember what happened and
a refresher,
less of a full synopsis.
Right. Because you could look that up. If you haven't seen the movie, you could look it up. You don't need us to tell you about it.
All right.
Are you ready, Robert?
Yeah, you got to make an alarm noise whenever it goes off. That's what I remember.
Oh, you want me to do the alarm noise? Okay, I'm going to do
whatever you think an alarm noise is.
Ready?
All right.
3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, Ocean's 8 opens with Sandra Bullock, and she is at a parole hearing trying to get out of prison. She says she's going to turn a new leaf and that she only got into crime because she had followed a bad apple or whatever. And then she gets out of prison and immediately goes back to being a criminal because that's what women do. And then she meets up with Cate Blanchett after shoplifting like 6 different stores and stealing somebody's hotel room. And then she meets up with her. Cate Blanchett's filling up vodka bottles with water because she's a cheat.
You got about 30 seconds.
And then they meet up with a whole crew. They get Mindy Kaling, they get Rihanna, they get Anne Hathaway, they get Helena Bonham Carter, and then they rob the Met Gala. They have this whole elaborate heist where they steal a necklace, but oh wait, they were going for all the other necklaces, not just the one. And at the end, they all are millionaires. James Corden's there. He's not his character in Cats, even though he kind of looks like him. And they live happily ever after.
Nicely done.
All right.
That was...
60 seconds is not a long time.
It's very short for a movie summary. You got the gist.
I thought it had been 10 seconds, and you said you have 30 seconds left.
You got a little too specific about the beginning of the movie.
Well...
But you got the gist.
I mean... I probably would have skipped over most of the heist explanation anyways because it has a lot of details and I would have forgotten most of the small details anyways. Fair. So
there's a lot going on, a lot of moving parts.
Yep.
Especially when you got that many characters that are the main characters.
Yes, and this is quite the ensemble.
Truly.
Quite the ensemble.
They really did do a good job of casting, I feel like, for the main leading ladies, you could say.
Yeah, for the most part. I kind of think they blew the budget on like the top 4, you know? Like they got like Sandra Bullock, they got Cate Blanchett, they got Sandra. What is it?
You just, for some reason you always say Sandra and it's just so funny.
Sandra Bullock.
Yeah, there you go. So you feel like they blew it on Anne Hathaway and
Katie
Sandra
Blanchett.
Bullock. But what about Helena Bonham Carter? Is she the top 4?
No, Rihanna. Sandra Bullock. Sandra Bullock, Cate Blanchett, Anne Hathaway.
I am really curious about how much Rihanna got paid for this movie. Because she acted in the little, sorry, not
yeah, she was in that
not
one with
little.
Donald
She was in
Glover.
the thing with Donald Glover, and I can't remember what it's called right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think she probably got paid too much for what she was doing.
Agree to disagree. Oh, she's been in quite a few things, actually. Okay, that's surprising. Guava Island.
I don't know if she should get an acting credit for A$AP Rocky asks Rihanna 18 questions.
Well, they do that. They do that like for perfume ads. Like if you look at Emma Stone's, like she's got perfume ads on her IMDb. They just do it for anything that someone can get a credit for, quote unquote. She was in the Bates Motel TV series. She was in 2 episodes. That's crazy. Okay, anyways. Yes, yeah. They did do some pretty intense casting for those lead roles. And I would be interested to know how much they spent just with those women.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of how the original one is too, because it's George Clooney, Brad Pitt,
Yeah,
Matt
that's what I was
Damon, and then
thinking.
it's like kind of a drop off after that.
Three
but
men that really look pretty similar.
yeah, Matt Damon and
Honestly,
Brad Pitt at least.
Brad Pitt and Matt Damon, yeah, they're very.
Yeah,
They're great. I'm not
very
saying
similar,
they're not great. Yeah, it's just
blonde, strapping, leading men.
yeah, like this might be mean to say, but they feel kind of interchangeable to me.
Strong disagree, but okay.
I don't know. I don't really like Brad Pitt. I like Matt Damon.
I just think Matt Damon is a lot less versatile than Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt can play just about any role.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I'll give you that.
Yeah, but neither of those people are in this movie, although
They're
Matt
not.
Damon was supposed to be.
So was Robert Downey Jr. is supposed to have a little cameo apparently, and they cut his scene.
Wow.
Crazy.
They be doing that to men.
Okay, so
Don't sleep.
Shut up. You're already coming out swinging at women this episode, and we are going to make this not that because
This podcast is pro-woman.
It is pro-woman, but, you're going to make me watch a lot of movies with a lot of men, so we got to even it out the playing field here. So
Yeah, blame Hollywood, not me.
Fair, that's fair. It's slowly turning the tides, but we're still in the thick of it.
True.
I wanted you to watch this movie because you have said that you really like the Ocean's movies, and I just feel like just to even the playing field, like you got to watch the one that has the women in it.
Yeah, I like heist movies in general.
Yeah.
And I think like the first like modern Ocean's 11 with George Clooney and Brad Pitt, Matt Damon, that one's really, really good. The other two are they're fine. I like them. I'll watch them, but they're sort of average.
So I honestly know nothing about the Ocean's movies other than this one, other than Ocean's 8. Is it all just like heist movies? Is that the genre?
It's always a heist, and then the number in the title is how many people end up being a part of the heist. So Ocean's...
I had no idea. I thought the numbers were just random. I had no clue.
You thought it was like the number in the series? Like this is the 11th Ocean?
Not even that. I thought they were just totally random, honestly. I did not know there was any correlation.
What do you mean you just thought they were just numbers that they threw in there?
Yes. I thought they were just random. I literally thought they were just like Ocean's 13, like just like picked. I'm not even kidding.
All right.
I had no clue. I've never seen them. I've never.
Okay.
Yeah. We haven't really even talked about them. I mean, you've mentioned them here and there, like when we talk about movies, even not on the pod, but
like this one, I knew that Anne Hathaway was going to end up being part of the heist because it's called Ocean's 8.
And there's 7 at first.
And there were 7.
Spoiler alert.
She's on the cover.
Yeah, that's true.
And there's only 8 women on the cover.
Yeah.
So I knew she was going to end up part of it.
That's so interesting. You learn something new every day.
Yeah, I mean, at some point we'll watch Ocean's 11. It will not be the next movie we watch.
Great, thank you for that.
Because you specifically told me I couldn't do that, but...
No, that would be pointless. We got to shake it up a little bit.
That's true.
So what were your thoughts about the movie overall, in general?
I thought it was fine. It was like a solid movie. Like I had fun watching it. It was not as good as the first Ocean's 11. Well, the George Clooney one. I want to say it was like Sinatra and Dean Martin in the original ones, but those were in like the 60s, I think. So when I say original, I mean like the George Clooney, Brad Pitt one.
Yeah, those are the ones you're more familiar with.
Yeah, I mean that first one. I mean, like I say this word a lot, but it has a lot of nostalgia for me. So
Robert's a big nostalgia guy.
Put that in a pill and
give it to him every day.
Shove it down my throat, I guess. I don't know. I was going to say inject it into my veins, but you don't do that with pills.
You could try.
Yeah, that's true.
It would go really poorly, but...
You can try and then you can die.
Boom, new catchphrase.
Boom. Call me Kendrick.
Kendrick, I'm sorry if you're listening. We're the two whitest whiteys.
Hey, he's from LA. I'm in LA.
Okay.
I'm just saying, hit me up.
That's the only thing you guys have in common.
I've got some bars. Are they good?
No.
Are they good?
No, they're usually about our dog. Silence
Fair enough.
Is deafening. Okay,
Fair
sorry. Get back on track here. So you felt like it was fine. You enjoyed it, but
yeah, I mean, this was a fine movie, but I mean, it was kind of a, like, it didn't feel like a passion project. You know what I mean? The first Ocean's movie is like a passion project for Steven Soderbergh.
Oh, interesting.
So it's like there's a lot of heart in it. And this movie is, Ocean's 8 is solid, but I didn't feel like it had a ton of like heart in it. I didn't feel like it was a super special project to any of the people involved.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
And then any movie with Mindy Kaling and James Corden is just like starting.
You don't like Mindy Kaling?
Behind the 8 ball. I mean, I like the things that she writes, but I don't like her as an actress. And I thought in this movie... You
like her in The Office, don't you?
I think her character's funny in The Office, but I wouldn't say she's a great actress in The Office.
Okay.
I mean...
I really like haven't seen her in a whole lot of stuff, so I don't really feel like I have any kind of grounds.
I haven't seen her in like a lot of acting roles, but
you've seen a lot of stuff that she's written or like been a part of.
Yeah, here and there.
Gotcha.
But other than that, I mean, I thought most of the cast was really good. I think Awkwafina was pretty funny.
Oh, she was great.
We've already talked about the biggest actresses, but I mean, Sandra Bullock was really good for what she was. She was a little wooden, but I think that was part of the character.
Yeah. Yeah, I think her character is someone that isn't going to talk about anything that is vulnerable.
Yeah.
And she doesn't really.
I kind of wish they'd given Cate Blanchett more to do.
Yeah.
They kind of just made her like the glue guy. She didn't really have, like, she did the, like, I guess she like pulled off the actual heist at the end, but like.
Yeah, she basically did all of the work, but.
Yeah, so it's like, why didn't you give her more to do the rest of the movie?
Yeah. She was like interviewing or like being a part of creating the team, but I know what you're saying. I think she could have had a bigger part just in terms of like I kind of wanted her to be a little bit more comedic relief because she had bits and pieces where she was funny, and I just wish there was maybe a little bit more of that strewn throughout the movie.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. It's been a long time since I've seen Ocean's 11, so I'm trying to remember. But I think her character is like basically Brad Pitt's character, and I think he kind of does the same thing. But they give him a lot more scenes by himself, showing him recruiting people.
So, for clarification for me, because I guess I didn't know this, is Sandra Bullock's character? She's technically related to George Clooney's character.
She's George Clooney's sister.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay, just double checking. For some reason, I got confused. If I can be.
Did he die in a heist? Is that what they were saying?
No, they were saying that she was saying that she wasn't sure if he was actually dead in there. She said something like, "You better be in there," or something like that.
Yeah, because he's like a criminal genius in the.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it was kind of like unspecified whether or not he was actually dead or if he was like in hiding. Or something.
I told you, I think it's because they
want to make another one.
If they wanted to do a sequel, they could have him be they could be like George Clooney's in this one.
Yeah, and he's alive.
Come on, boys, please watch this.
Come on, boys, we did the girl one. Now we got to bring you back for the boy one.
Come on, we gave you penis. Come on.
What?
Gave you penis. Come see movie.
What?
That's what they say to all the boys.
Oh, okay. Wouldn't they not? This is off to a weird start. Anyways, what I was going to say was, to be honest, watching this movie. So I've only seen this movie one time. I can't remember if I saw it in the theaters or if I like saw it with friends or something, if I just watched it at home or something. But I feel like I might have seen it in the theaters. And seeing it only the one time, from what I can remember, I really, really liked it. I really enjoyed the movie. I thought it was very girl power. I, was into all the actors, and I like really enjoyed the movie. And honestly, watching it back, I was like, which is really funny because I don't feel like that usually happens for me.
I think when you know how the heist turns out, it's
not
these
as
movies kind of
exciting.
lose their luster. Yeah.
Oh, maybe that's what it was, because I don't, obviously, as we know, I don't really watch a lot of movies like this, so it could just be that. Maybe that's what it was, because I think part of the excitement of the movie the first time I watched it was being so intrigued by how they were going to pull this off, and then being surprised at every turn when they had like a really developed part of the plan. So maybe
Yeah.
that's what it was. Because the acting was still great. I didn't feel differently about the acting. Yeah, that's interesting.
I think really like the only thing I can really point to that I didn't like very much about the movie was kind of the direction of it. I think some of the shots were like really kind of like amateur-ish,
Yeah, I could see that.
and like sometimes it would go to like a handheld and it would be like really shaky,
Yeah.
which can have an effect. But in a movie like this, they weren't like trying to. It's like one thing when you go to a handheld to show like, oh, this character is starting to lose it, and it's another when you're like doing a handheld because it's the only way to get the shot indoors,
Right.
and you're
While
like,
people are moving,
you had too
etc.
much coffee and you're really shaky or something like that kind of was jarring. And then there was some like drone shots of the city occasionally.
Yeah, those were random.
Yeah, and they would linger like they would spend like it would be like instead of like
Yeah.
a 1 second establishing shot, it would be like 4 or 5 seconds, which is like when I'm saying it now, it sounds petty for me to bring this up, but like when you're watching it, you're like, okay,
That was
I
a
get
little
it.
long. Yeah.
They're in Central Park. Okay.
Yeah. I also want to say, first of all, I think we should start doing whether or not the movie passes the Bechdel test, just out of curiosity of the movie. Obviously, this one does, which, yeah. But what I was going to say was something that really threw me about this movie watching it the second time is the amount of fucking airbrushing they did on Sandra Bullock's face. In every shot she has a close-up, her skin looks ghostly because they have
Yeah.
taken an airbrush tool on that shot and just removed any semblance that she is a human, living, breathing woman who is not 16 years old out of her face. And it's so upsetting to me because you know they don't fucking do that to Brad Pitt and George Clooney. You know they don't do that. Because it's hot when it's a man that's older and he's a silver fox. But God forbid it's a woman with wrinkles.
Yeah.
It drives me crazy. It's like women are just expected to look like little plastic faces when they're past the age of 40. And it blows my mind. Like, I've listened to podcasts where they talk about this. Like, I listened to, I don't know what movie podcast it was, to be honest.
Probably You Are Good.
It might have been You Are Good, but I don't remember what movie they were talking about, but they brought this up and it's just so irritating. There's just this expectation that women are not supposed to age, but it's totally fine and it's kind of hot if men do. And if they're going to make a movie about women being the main players of a heist like this, why can't they just keep the looks out of it? Like, obviously, for the Met Gala part, sure, like you're dressed up, you've got your fancy makeup on, but even when they had the beginning shot of Sandra Bullock where she's in prison, she has a full face of makeup on. And I'm like,
Yeah.
there's no fucking way. There's no fucking way. If you've been in prison for 5 years, you give a shit about how you look.
That's true.
You know, she had like eyeliner on and like airbrushing her face. I'm like, just leave her be. We
Yeah.
don't need to do this.
I personally like really don't like in movies whenever they like release them from prison and the character is like unchanged.
Yeah.
Especially 5 years is a pretty long time. And she gets out and her personality is just like totally normal. And the only thing they do is like she like pulls the shiv on the guy at the very beginning.
Yeah.
But it's like played up for laughs.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously this movie's not the movie that they're going to be like, well, she has PTSD from prison. But
No.
I mean,
Definitely not. But I see what you mean.
with the makeup thing, like that's something they do in every movie. And it's
Yeah.
like beyond stupid because it's like the only people who would care about, I mean, I guess the people who would care about that are like, you know, people like our parents, and our parents are the people that like make these studios money because they're the ones that watch these movies, but like, or they go see everything, you know,
Right.
But I don't know. I mean, I think it's so dumb because it's the same, like men and women. It's like, it's fine if you look old. Like,
Yeah.
It's fine if you look
That's what I'm
middle-aged.
saying.
We talk about this all the time because like it feels like there's kind of like an epidemic of people getting plastic surgery right now.
Oh, yeah.
And people
Men,
look,
women, everyone
when you look
down the line.
when you look slightly older, but you don't have plastic surgery face, you look so much better.
True.
And this is true for both
All-
sexes, all genders,
I was going to say, yeah. For
all
anyone.
people. Yeah, anybody. However you identify, you would not look better with plastic surgery. I'm so sorry.
Not if it's botched, baby.
It's one thing if it's like reconstructive, but it's another thing if you're just like, oh, I don't want to look 42.
Well,
I want to look 35.
Right. Well, the issue is that I don't think people recognize, like, if you want to get plastic surgery, whatever, go ahead.
Yeah, it's a free country.
Go ahead. Do it if you want.
I'm not gonna.
It's just when it gets to the point where it's like, it's so incredibly obvious and it starts to look bad. And it's like, I'm not talking about anyone specifically in this movie. We're just talking about in general, actresses have this pressure to be getting cheek filler and their lips done and their forehead wrinkles smoothed. And it's just another way that we force women into looking pretty all the time. But it's just, I think people don't really fully understand the effects of Botox and filler and how it starts to move. Like, it's not going to stay where it is for the rest of your life. It's going to move. Some of it might dissolve, you know, whatever, but it's not going to be right where it settles for the rest of your life. But anyway, enough about that. Yeah. I'll get off my soapbox.
The last thing I'll say is it kind of makes it makes all the actors and actresses look like the same person.
Yeah.
And it's very uncanny valley.
I just wish that there was more emphasis on actresses and people in general just liking how they look because it makes them different from each other. Like, I think that that's something we should include in movies more.
Yeah, but being different is not profitable for the company, so they don't want you to be.
I'll work on it.
Yeah, it's very frustrating.
One other thing I remember about this movie, that I didn't remember about this movie was all the lore. Like, all of the random people, not random, but all of the, like, quote, stars that are at the Met Gala within the movie. Yeah. Like, I forgot about that. I remembered how lore-filled the previews were when I heard these boots are made for walking. When I heard that, I remembered all of the trailers of the movie, and like that was the song that they used, and it was just like clips of like the heist and stuff, and I was like, oh, now I'm hype again. I love that song. These boots are made for walking.
Just makes me think of Austin Powers.
Oh, that's funny. It was also funny because that's Frank Sinatra's sister. Oh, fun fact.
Interesting.
Singing that song.
Wow.
He was also in an Ocean's movie, so.
Wow.
Should we chat about categories, perhaps?
Yeah, the last thing I'll say is that it's interesting that this director really, like, hasn't really directed a ton or written a ton. He didn't have a ton of credits on IMDb.
Yeah, he didn't.
And he's been around for a long time.
Gary Ross is his name.
He wrote Big with Tom Hanks, which is a great movie.
Great movie.
And then he was like, all right.
He's done a couple of things,
a few kids movies.
He's been writing some things, but
yeah, I mean, he has some good stuff on his credits. It's just a little strange. But let's get into some categories and awards. Why don't we?
Yes, let's chat about categories.
All right.
I think we might have some disagreements on this movie. I think.
Yeah, probably. I don't think we felt the same about this movie.
Some of it, yeah.
Yeah. Our very first category is going to be Best Acting.
Stop looking at my computer. You're going to ruin it.
Sorry, I kind of did that subconsciously.
It's Anne Hathaway. It just is. Sorry.
Okay. I had Blanchett and Anne Hathaway tied.
I thought Blanchett was great. Kate Blanchett.
She just wasn't given enough to do.
That's fair. I think for me, I just love this role on Anne Hathaway because if you watch like any interview of her, she seems like one of the sweetest people on planet Earth. Mm-hmm. She seems so kind and caring, and so it's just really funny watching her play this like, kind of like bobblehead actress role. Mm-hmm. I loved her, and it felt sincere. Like everything about like the costuming for her and everything about the way that she was acting, her physical stature, it felt sincere to the character, even if you felt like maybe she was playing like a caricature of an actress that was like kind of like that. I felt that it worked, actually. I really liked her in this movie a lot.
Yeah, she was great. I'm happy to give that to her. She plays Ditzy so well. In the Princess Diaries, she's a little...
Princess Diaries, she's not ditzy. She's
not
just
ditzy, but
clumsy.
Yeah, but she plays that really well, and
smart.
that kind of goes in the same category.
That's why
ditzy,
I think that's why when I watched it the first time, it was so funny that she was like, I had full understanding of what was going on the entire time of like the heist.
Mm-hmm.
I loved that.
Yeah.
The flip. I don't think there's any question about this next one.
Yeah, I'll be honest. For worst acting, I did have Mindy Kaling, but that's because when I was filling out this, I forgot that James Corden was in this. So sorry, James Corden.
I thought Mindy Kaling was funny.
I think she's fine.
I liked
I
her.
actually had a hard time thinking of who to put here, but I forgot that James Corden was on this because he wasn't on the front page of IMDb.
I feel like with James Corden, he just doesn't fit.
Yeah, it's very, like, I think the idea of, like, an insurance, like, adjuster coming in and being, like, the like, police force is, like, pretty funny. But James Corden's, like, they try to make him too witty and too smart, and he, like, really jumps to conclusions, and
It just feels very abrupt when he gets put into the movie. And like, honestly, like, I'm jumping ahead, but like, for me, the worst moment of the movie was when he gets introduced. Like, it's just like jarring. Like, it's just like,
oh yeah,
what
like,
what?
I had no idea he was in this. When he showed up, I was like, oh, what the fuck?
100% forgot he was in this movie.
You get like fucking, it's like getting hit by a car.
Listen, James Corden. Wait, who's the guy that has a name like that?
Carville?
No,
I
never
don't think
mind.
you would
I'm thinking of
be
someone
talking
else.
about James Carville.
I'm thinking of the guy who's in Jury Duty. I don't remember his name.
James.
What is it?
God, I was just thinking about him the other day.
Sorry. Anyways, James Corden in Into the Woods, fantastic. Just want to say that.
Okay.
I kind of feel like I get nervous. I'm like, what if I have to work with one of these people? And they're like, well, you didn't have nice things to say about me in Ocean's 8 in your podcast.
Well, sadly, a lot of people have not so nice things to say about James Corden.
You know,
apparently he's
that's
not
valid.
such a nice person.
Not a nice person.
Yeah. Which is a shame because that's his whole personality is that he's like bubbly and nice. Yeah.
What about favorite character not in the main cast?
I actually did not have one. I mean, this doesn't really have a lot of side characters.
I thought that the guy who played the security head that was like supposed to be like 25 or something, I thought he was really funny.
If I had to pick somebody, it would be the Cartier, like jewel.
Oh
guy.
yeah, the bald guy.
Yeah,
he was great
very
too.
like mousy and funny.
He was fun. I loved when he's like looking at the necklace and he's just like, when he realizes it's not real.
Yeah.
Because like, can you imagine your whole entire fucking job basically is to make sure this necklace comes back to its safe placement in a vault that's 5 feet or 8 feet down concrete or something. And then you are just doing your checking. Mm-hmm. And the necklace is here. It's gotten back to you.
Yeah.
And you realize it's not real. Like, that's fucking bonkers. And you did everything right. That guy didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, I don't think he would have been... I don't think he was responsible.
No, because he wasn't there.
I think actually it would have been the security company that had the insurance, maybe. Not Cardi. I don't know how that would... Well,
it might have been the insurance of the Met Gala, maybe, if the piece went missing in the building.
Well...
I don't know.
I'm a licensed insurance agent, so...
Yeah, you should know. Who would be at fault?
Well, personal property outside of the home is usually still covered by the like the person's homeowner's insurance.
And they
so
had an insurance policy on
Cartier
it.
would have still been like their insurance still would have been liable for that, but they also their insurance company could have sued the security company for losing their necklace. So the security company would have had insurance on that kind of damage, on those damages.
Jesus.
So it would have been like an insurance company suing another insurance company at the end of the day, I think.
Interesting.
But that's not the type of insurance I work in, so take all that with a grain of salt.
With a grain of salt.
Yeah. Okay, so the security guards were really funny.
No, not the security guard.
Who?
The head of security.
The security company,
yes.
like the tech guy.
Yes.
Yeah, he was pretty funny.
And he's like really young.
I didn't understand why they made his character so funny.
but I loved it. Like, he's just like this guy that's like, my dad made me work here, and now I'm the head of everything, and I have no fucking clue what I'm doing. I loved that.
He's like, you can't see the bathroom. Who cares that you can't see the bathroom?
It's the women's restroom.
It's
not a blind spot.
Mind meld.
Not a mind meld. What about the best scene?
Okay, so we decided the security guy is
Yes.
Okay.
I think so.
Best scene, I mean, it's a heist movie. You gotta go the actual heist.
Yeah. I think it's the actual movement of the necklace. Like that whole chunk of the movie. Because watching that for the first time, I remember being like, how are they going to get it out of there? Because they don't really tell you, like they tell you vaguely the plans of getting it out of there, but they don't really, like the fact that she like, I like kind of like shivered out of disgust when she takes this $150 million necklace, Mindy Kaling's character, I think is Amita, and she puts it into the sink. Oh God, the people below us are doing their drum practice right now.
If you can hear some rhythmic beating,
I'm so sorry.
We think one of the children of our downstairs neighbors got a drum set
for Christmas.
Yeah.
They always do it at the most random times. Anyway, but when she has the necklace and she's putting the plates in the sink and the necklace is in the freaking sink and then she puts it in her pocket, I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they have ways of cleaning that, but yeah, I did think that was because
I'm sure she cleaned it like when she's taking it.
Well, she did. Yeah, she hosed it off. But
that's right.
I don't know how much that would do.
Hopefully enough, I guess.
Yeah, hopefully enough. Those heist scenes in movies are so satisfying because they always they usually will like tell you what the plan is
vaguely.
So you go in thinking that oh, here's the plan, and you know something's probably going to go a little bit wrong, but you don't know.
As it always does.
Something goes wrong and you're like, oh man. But then they reveal that you didn't know the whole plan.
Right.
So
which we found
really
out.
what went wrong was planned all along.
Yeah.
Which this heist was so the heist is kind of
elaborate.
extended with the James Corden part of it.
That's
because
true.
that was kind of part of the heist.
Yeah.
So you don't find out what went wrong until that part. But yeah, so I think the actual heist is my vote.
Same.
Okay.
And it was also really cool just seeing. Excuse me. It was really cool seeing I don't know did they actually shoot this at the Met?
I don't know if they
Probably
actually
not.
filmed on location. I think they did though.
Really?
Yeah, because I think I saw that since Rihanna and was it Anne Hathaway or Kate Blanchett that had
I don't remember.
actually done whatever the thing was.
Kate Blanchett. They'd both worked as chairs for the Met Gala apparently.
I think they actually filmed on location.
Yeah, that would be cool. I don't know. Well, I thought it was really cool to see the set itself, wherever, if it was there or not. That was really interesting to me. It was like, wow, look at the steps. Because I don't think I put two and two together because I've been to the Met before, but I don't think I've it looks so different when you're watching people go up the stairs. Like the lights are really bright and it looks so different than when you're actually there.
Yeah.
I wonder if they clean the floors. Anyways.
I'm sure they do. I'm sure they have. I'm sure they pay a
buff them
custodial
out or
service
something.
a ton of money.
I'm sure.
Okay, so far we're actually pretty in line. What was your worst moment?
Yeah, James Corden in general.
Yeah.
I think the first introduction of his character, I was like, what's happening?
I thought the scene where he meets with Sandra Bullock in the diner was
They didn't really need that.
Well, they made him so it would have been better to me if he had just thought that her ex-boyfriend was the guy who stole the necklace and turned him in instead of having him in on everything. That was it was weird to me that they made him be
part of the heist.
I don't care that you're a criminal. I just care about the necklace. And I'm like, I don't
really know.
Okay. All right. That was a weird choice, but yeah, James Corden. Okay,
yeah, that was interesting.
Second award for you, big guy.
Sorry, buddy. Now that I'm thinking about it, that was really interesting because he's basically I'm on your side and I'll help you figure this out. And also if she was saying that because she has a line where she's oh, but it made a hell of an alibi or like something like that. And he's like, is everyone in your family like this or something? And I'm like, she's literally admitting that she had a part in it and you're just gonna let that slide? Okay.
Yeah, that's very weird. We'll get into that later.
Yeah.
Favorite line?
Okay, mine was she's talking to Kate Blanchett and they're walking. And she goes, I couldn't even hear myself think, 5 women in one cell. So I got myself thrown in solitary for a little peace and quiet. And that's where I finally came up with it.
All right, that wins. I didn't have anything.
I like the idea that like someone in prison is like, I'm so sick of being around other people. I'm just gonna go fucking crazy so I can be by myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, obviously, like, we could talk about how terrible the prison system is, etc., which we probably will at some point within this podcast, but
maybe when we do Shawshank.
Oh, jeez. Anyways, I mean, that's part of things, but the idea that like she's like, I just really needed some peace and quiet. Like the character's just like, I wish if it was a funnier movie, I wish they would have included just like a clip of like whatever the fuck she had to do to get thrown into solitary.
Yeah. I bet that's in the deleted scenes, maybe.
Oh, maybe. I just love that this character has thought about this for years and planned it out so thoroughly.
Well, this is like exactly how Ocean's 11 opens.
Really? He's in jail and he's thought about...
He's at his parole hearing and he's thought of the perfect heist and he gets out of prison and immediately goes and finds Brad. So it kind of mirrors that. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
It aligns very, very similarly.
So I guess I went for favorite line because you couldn't even think of one line. You couldn't even remember one line. That just reminded me. You've seen the bloopers of Parks and Rec? Mm-hmm. The scenes where they're all drunk. Or it's not bloopers. It's like actually what's in the show where they all get drunk. And people are just like, you didn't even do the one thing. And you did the one thing that you wouldn't even.
Yeah, when Leslie
I've seen those so many times. Okay, sorry. Anyways.
Yeah, we watch those all the time.
On occasion. Yeah. Of various.
We're just browsing YouTube and we're too tired to watch a full show, but we want to watch a little something.
Yeah, bits.
Yeah.
Speaking of bits, thanks for the segue. Bits in this movie?
I put when Anne Hathaway's trying on the Cartier necklace and Helena Bonham, or she's trying on like the safety pin necklace, and Helena Bonham Carter's like, oh, you have just such a nice neck. You have the best neck in the world.
Beautiful neck.
And Anne Hathaway's like,
she starts crying.
Yeah. I thought that was pretty funny. Complimenting people's necks. Let's bring that in.
Before you started talking about that, I thought about the safety pins themselves. I was like, that's hilarious.
Do they do that? I assume that's an actual thing.
I honestly don't know. I've worked in a costume shop
never worn
before.
$150 million necklace? Or a
I have not worn a $150 necklace. I probably haven't even worn a $150 necklace, if I'm being honest.
Oh.
I don't think I own a $150.
We'll have to change that for you someday.
That'd be great. No, but yeah, I don't know if they actually do stuff with safety pins like that. That's what was funny to me. I was like, they really went all in and like making sure it was like the right layout of,
Yeah, they did a great job. Whoever did the safety pins, we noticed you.
Congratulations
next
to prop crew.
Is one Oscar. I put screenplay. I didn't really know what else to give it.
I think screenplay could work. Yeah, I kind of struggled with this one because, like, as much as Anne Hathaway stuck out, I don't really know if they would have picked anyone over each other for that. Yeah. Like, I couldn't have really seen that, I don't think. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I would say screenplay. Yeah.
Yeah, or maybe the score. The score was pretty good.
The score was good. Except there's like one song in it that has been in a bunch of commercials since this movie's come out, and I don't remember the song, but I remember hearing it and I was like, this is a song that I've heard 1,000 times before. Yeah, we'll go screenplay. I won't fight you on that.
Okay.
I think that's fair.
All right.
What about nitpicks? I know you've got a couple and you wouldn't tell me what they were.
Okay, so since this is also a criminal movie, it got me thinking of Goodfellas. Uh-huh. At the end of the movie, they pull off this jewelry heist. Mm-hmm. They all get $38.5 million in their bank accounts. Mm-hmm. And what do they all do? They immediately start fucking spending it. Drawing attention.
I was thinking about that.
Jimmy would have had them whacked.
You would have been whacked, you rats.
Oh my God.
Oh wait, you moles. I can't keep track which one's what.
Aquafina would have been hanging in a meat truck.
Maybe. Maybe.
Sarah Paulson and her husband would have been the couple in the pink Cadillac.
Oh yeah. Oh jeez.
Yeah. I mean,
That's a good point.
that, and then what the fuck were the police doing this whole movie?
I don't know.
And who's Sandra Bullock's parole officer?
I was gonna say, that's what I was gonna say, is like, surely someone would be checking in on her, right?
Yeah, no
If she was
criminal.
If she had such a close relationship with that one lady that was giving her stuff back, and that lady knew about how she was, someone would be like checking on her. Maybe not even a parole officer, but like just like spying on her, something.
Well, I think you have to have, like, within like a couple weeks of being released, you have to have like housing, and you have to show that you have employment, and like she didn't have any of that shit.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. That nitpick can be applied to Ocean's 11 as well. So.
Well, I also think I think about like the beginning part where she's staying in the hotel room, like they would have seen her on the cameras when she stayed in the couple's room, because the couple would have been charged for the room. I think, and then they probably would have seen her. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think that hotel was so nice that couple might not have noticed the extra expense.
Maybe.
Is what I would guess.
Wish I could relate.
I think this is one of those things where, like, if you really get into the weeds with these,
you could go, for everything.
Like, she was stealing like perfume bottles from the mall, and those perfume bottles have security tags. So that's true. Like, yeah.
I was actually thinking about that, and I was thinking about maybe when she walked through a door, the security thing went off and she was like, oh, like whatever. And like someone would see that she had the bags and would be like, oh, go ahead. And for some reason I pictured that happening in the movie, but it didn't actually happen. Mm-hmm. But like that could have been, because if she had the bags, then no one's really going to question her whether or not, Yeah.
And she was kind of dressed the part.
Yeah, so. Exactly. Pretty privilege. You got a face card. You can get away with whatever you want. Yeah. My nitpicks, one of them was, so you talked about the little shiv, and she rips her ex's button off. I caught this one while we were watching it. Mm-hmm. The button on his jacket is black, and then when she slides the button over to Cate Blanchett and shows her the shiv at the table when they're like talking afterwards, it's white. And it's just I'm like, was it that hard to like use a black button? Did you guys not remember that it was a black button before? Yeah. It's just weird. And then the other one, I think that the security company would have checked the cameras and where they were before the Met. Like Rihanna, what's her name? Nineball, her character moves the cameras so that there is a bigger blind spot. She adjusts them on the guy's computer once she hacks into it. And she does that the night before. And I was like, they definitely would have checked them before the Met.
No, I think she did it little by little over the course of a couple weeks.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think she moved it like a tiny little bit.
No, it shows her like adjusting it. I don't know.
Maybe I misunderstood that.
I was thinking maybe that was just for me. That was something I thought of, and I was like, eh.
And I feel like they would have been able to see a log that showed that the cameras had been
that
moved.
It was adjusted, right? Yeah, that's what I was thinking. The last one I have is that they used the printer. They used the 3D printer for the zirconium for the actual jewels of the necklace. But how would they have done the metal part? The actual part that holds the jewels?
I think that they didn't have to do that because they didn't need it to be... No, I guess because they had to put it back on.
Because they had to make it look exactly the same so that when the guys looked at it, the security guards looked at it, they were like, oh, it's okay, we found it.
Oh, you know what that made me think of? Is that fake necklace wouldn't have had the magnet thing.
Oh, that's a good point, too. So see, that's what I'm saying.
So the security would have noticed that.
Right, that's what I'm saying is, like, how would they have gotten... Because, like, it probably has, like, platinum as the backing part or something crazy. Like, it's not going to be, like, some sterling silver. It's going to be, like, white gold or something on the back of the necklace. And I was like...
A little 24 karat.
How would... But it's not gold. Yeah, I guess is white gold 24 karat. I don't know how that works. Anyways, I'm not even gonna go on that tangent. I was just thinking about that, and I was like, I know that Mindy Kaling's character Amita is a jewelry connoisseur, but she would have. It doesn't. It just logically, it's like she would have had to get the blueprint from the computer that was making the necklace, so she could use the blueprint to make the backing of the jewels. It's just too much.
I think with these movies, when you like start to get
like that, like what you said
that fine
earlier,
of a comb over it, like it just.
I don't really think we can pick just one because it, like, I think it just pulls it apart.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think your police one is valid. They would have been involved.
Where the fuck were they?
Where are they ever?
Don't worry, boys. James Corden's on the case.
He's got it covered.
That lovable teddy bear. He'll crack it in no time.
If you could go back in time, what would you change about this movie if it was just one change?
So, as we're watching,
James Corden's character.
Well, I would change him to be more of a villain, but the one that came to me first is that Jennifer Lawrence was originally like tabbed to play Anne Hathaway's character, and I think that I might have wanted to see the version of this movie where Anne Hathaway played Sandra Bullock's character and Jennifer Lawrence was playing Anne Hathaway's character.
I think I would have loved that.
But that would have been a much sillier movie.
Now I feel like I'm curious if she's been in any roles like that Anne Hathaway has. Where she's kind of like...
She plays the damaged woman
yeah, it's
quite
called
often.
typecasting.
Like Rachel getting married.
I haven't seen that. Wow, I can't... Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, see, if you look at her thing, Bulgari, she has a ad on there. I can't think of something where she's... And I'm probably just forgetting something that she has been in, but I can't think of something where she played a character like... oh no, you got me. She played a character like Sandra Bullock's character. Oh, she's funny in Bride Wars.
I mean, she plays Catwoman.
Wait a second, Get Smart. She plays a She plays a badass bitch in Get Smart.
Yeah.
Okay, well, never mind. I've been
corrected
in my assumption. Yeah, that would be interesting to see Jennifer Lawrence in this role. I think she would have been really funny. And Anne Hathaway.
Yeah, I think she would have been great in that role. Mm-hmm. I don't know if Anne Hathaway could have done Sandra Bullock's though.
I think she could have.
I think she could have done it, but I think it would be a little bit more like
funny.
She doesn't have the coldness that Sandra Bullock can pull off. You know what I mean? Like Anne Hathaway.
Yeah.
Like I'm always like, she looks nice. She looks like a nice person.
And that's why you have to know your brand, folks. If you're an actor, super fun. You just have to know where you fit. And then you have to learn how to break out of that. Anyways. What about the horniness meter? How horny is this movie, Robert?
I give it a 1 out of 10.
I give it a 5 out of 10.
Oh, just because you thought all the ladies were hot?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and you got a little bit of sexiness with Anne Hathaway and that one guy.
Yeah.
I would have recast him, no offense.
I didn't understand what the deal is with Sandra Bullock and Cate Blanchett. Well, she cracked a joke about how they were going through a rough patch, and that's when she met the art guy. But I think she meant
friendship.
Yeah, I mean,
that would have been interesting, though.
I assume that, but it was a weirdly intimate friendship.
Wow. Sapphic relationship.
Yeah.
Love them. Maybe they just love each other. Who knows? To plan a heist with someone, that's pretty intimate.
Yeah.
We haven't planned a heist together. Maybe we will at some point. Whatever.
Well, you stole my heart. I can tell that was sarcastic. Let's go to the next category.
Would you recommend this movie to someone with your taste? It is an action movie.
Ish, yeah.
It is a heist movie.
I would say if you wanted to watch this, you probably wouldn't regret watching it. But
yeah,
I wouldn't be like, go out of your way to watch this.
That's fair. That's fair.
But so soft recommend.
Okay, we'll take it. We'll take it. That's a win for the girlies.
I can't really rewrite this one to an action because it kind of is. It
is an action.
Yeah, we kind of went through a couple things that we might change.
Well, maybe we would make it a romance and we would make Kate Blanchett's character and Sandra Bullock's character be lesbian lovers, which I support that 100%. Let's do it.
All right.
Sorry, hold on 1 second. I'm getting a call. Hey, Sandra. Yeah, we're thinking about casting you in another Ocean's 8, but we're going to make it Ocean's 9, and you're going to be lovers with Kate Blanchett. How's that sound?
Your phone didn't ring. What are you doing?
It's great. Well, it was on Do Not Disturb, and I just happened to get on, and she was calling me, so I just needed to answer it really quick.
It's just your lock screen. What are you talking about?
Robert, I asked you before if I'm doing this.
All right, now let's get into our final scores.
Okay, this was for me a 3.
I haven't even thought about it really.
I think it was a 3 for me because I think what you said just really summed it up about why it didn't feel as exciting to me the second time was because I knew what was going to happen. So I don't really feel like it would be as exciting a third time to experience the heist. I think maybe give it a few years. I think I saw it the year it came out. So it's been about 6 years since I saw it. So maybe give it around that time and I'll watch it again. I do enjoy it, but it's not really a super high on the list, I guess. Okay. I do like it. But.
And again, like even like a 2 on our ratings is not
bad.
It's not a bad rating. It's not like I'm giving this a 40% or a 20. It's like, you know, that's not what our scale is. A 2 is just like I wouldn't want to watch this for a long time, and I think that's where I'm at.
A 2?
Yeah, I think so.
But you would watch it again.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't hate it, but I think if I just gave it a like stone cold rating on Letterboxd, I'd probably give it like a 2.
That's fair.
It was fine.
That's fair.
But
I'll support you in that. I won't make you defend it because I think I understand. I understand why it was maybe not as exciting, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I did like it.
I love the casting, though. I'm so glad we have, like, it was just so, like, it was really cool, honestly, watching this movie because, like, watching it for the first time and being so excited that it was just all women.
Can I say I wish like, obviously I'm pro having casts that are predominantly female. I wish that they wouldn't feel the need to make it existing IP that they do it with.
What does that mean?
Well, like superhero movies, they just released like the Marvels, I think it was called. I'm not a Marvel boy, so sorry about any mistakes, but they just released the Marvels, which was like 3 female superheroes, and that was like they were like the leads of the movie. But it had to be attached to like Marvel. I wish that like this would have been an original heist movie, not an extension of Oceans. But I mean, like even
Why,
if it
though? What about that?
I don't know. I just feel like I feel like it kind of.
You need your boy movies to stay boy movies.
No. It's not that at all. I mean, I don't want to say cheapens, but I feel like it makes it less. It's like, why do we have to attach an IP to like an intellectual property to this?
Intellectual property. Okay, thank you.
Why do we have to attach that to
Those
this?
Of us that are stupider, can you explain? Sorry, go ahead.
Ignorance isn't stupid. Anyways, I wish that they got a chance to make original content and that they weren't like kind of forced to make IP stuff.
That's fair.
To cater to like marketing audiences. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I also think like you have to start somewhere, and this was a good place to start.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
maybe they were just like, we have had no fucking women in these movies. We really just got to tie some in somewhere.
They have 1 or 2.
I think it said something on IMDb that Mindy Kaling had been wanting to do an Ocean's.
She mentioned it in her autobiography or
oh yeah, that's what it said. That's
memoir
right.
Or something?
Yeah, that she'd been wanting to do an Ocean's movie with just women, which I was like, nice.
Yeah.
Fair.
Well,
that's it. That's Ocean's 8.
Yeah, I got to think of something to make you watch real quick.
Think quickly. We're about to wrap it up here.
I've got a little list, and I've got to pick which one I want to make you watch next.
You better quick
pick her upper.
Okay. Think quickly. But thank you so much for listening. As always, we really, really appreciate it. It's really nice to hear friends and family listening, people that don't even know us listening. We appreciate you. We're doing this for fun, but we also like to have people listening to it. It's nice to know that you're enjoying the content.
Yeah.
And if you do like it and you want to support us, please, please, please give us a rating wherever you get your podcasts if you haven't already. Just do it real quick. Quick little 5 stars and say, good job. That's it. That's all you have to say. And we'll appreciate it.
Yeah. And you know what? Tell if you're listening to this right now. If you're listening. Just tell one person in your life about this podcast that you think might enjoy it.
Yeah, movie watcher, someone.
Yeah, just say, hey, my friends have a podcast. Or, hey, I've been listening to this podcast. And
you can call us your friends even if you don't know us. I'm your friend.
Yeah, just let them know that you have the podcast that you've been listening to, and maybe they'll get some value out of it.
Yeah.
You know, we do this for fun, but we want to grow. We want to be able to do this more often and, you know, really
grow the platform.
Well, yeah. I mean, we need help. We do need a little help to grow, and yeah, if you could just do that, that would be a huge help. Mm-hmm. You know, make sure to follow us on social media: Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, wherever, YouTube, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Just stay up to date on what we've got coming out. We have a new episode every single Wednesday.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes more often. We're going to start doing some little mini-sodes for you guys, so check those out.
We keep saying that, and they are coming.
They are coming. We're working on it.
Yes. We are trying to figure out what to do.
We're busy people.
If you have any suggestions on what we should do, you should email us at fightingovertheremote@gmail.com.
Please.
Or DM us on Instagram, Twitter, whatever.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, please join us next week as I force Elissa to watch Heat.
The Heat? We're watching The Heat again?
We are watching Heat, starring Al Pacino and Robert De Niro.
Okay.
Another heist movie.
I guess if I would have looked it up, we talked about Al Pacino earlier today, and he was like, I'm going to be making you watch a movie with Al Pacino pretty soon. So I should have gotten ahead and figured it out, but I didn't. But I like him. I'll watch it.
I think we both love Robert De Niro.
We do like Robert De Niro.
It's another heist movie.
Okay, back to back.
Michael Mann's like in the news right now. Adam Driver is going to be in the sequel to this movie that apparently they're making, which is interesting. Yeah, but please join us next week as I force Elissa to watch Heat.
Thank you so much for listening. Bye.
Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.
Bye.